Welcome to the coolest stuff on the planet.
Greetings, intelligent life forms and others. My name is Matthew.
And my name is Rachel. And this is the coolest stuff on the planet. Welcome, welcome. And today's topic, the migratory monarchs of Michoacan.
Yes, Rachel, we're talking about the annual migration of millions of monarch butterflies from Canada to the eastern United States to the highlands of central Mexico.
I know we were talking about this a minute ago. I think this might be my favorite
Yeah,
of
you're
all the
excited
topics
about
that we've
this
ever
one.
done. I don't know. It's just the butterflies. Wow. Millions of them. But anyway, so what's really interesting about these butterflies is that they are very particular about where they spend the winter. And in particular, this population that heads to Mexico is partial to this very specific area of the state of Michoacan, and to these very particular kinds of trees called oyamel fir trees. And so every fall, the butterflies travel about up to 3,000 miles to the forested mountain area of the state of Michoacan.
So monarchs are cold-blooded, and their flight muscles won't work if it gets too cold. So once they reach these mountains, the butterflies cluster together to conserve their heat. That way they can continue to move. Otherwise, they'd be paralyzed.
They snuggle.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. Yeah, so they clump together and they stay pretty much motionless for months until it starts to warm up. And the interesting thing is that there are so many of them all clumped together that the weight of their bodies can actually snap the branches of the trees.
That's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
So the trees shelter the butterflies from storms that keep them from freezing to death in the Mexican winter. In February, when it starts to warm up, they all begin waking up at around the same time, and the area becomes so saturated with monarchs in the air that you almost get a butterfly storm.
It's a perfect storm of butterflies.
No lightning, but very dangerous.
I'm just imagining them waking up when it's warm. They're like, it's alive.
Yes.
It's alive.
All right, Rachel. Yes, very much.
That's just what goes through my head when
I
I think
love
of
it.
this process. Anyway, but there's so many of them that you can hear the sound of their wings flapping. And I've heard it kind of sounds like a lot of paper flapping.
Wow.
Like, it's a really neat sound. It's not quite like you'd imagine like a bunch of birds flapping their wings. It's very much like paper flapping. Kind of like, yeah, we could do. Except less paper. More delicate flapping, I don't know.
That's pretty awesome. Okay, so a majority of the area where they winter, called overwintering grounds, it's been designated as a biosphere reserve. There are several sanctuaries, and some of which are open to the public. A popular one to go visit is the El Rosario Monarch Butterfly Sanctuary.
The butterflies arrive in Mexico, in Michoacan, around the time of the Day of the Dead festivities. And so some people believe, some locals believe, that they're the souls of dead children that are returning to Earth during the Day of the Dead to visit their loved ones.
Oh, wow. So if they land on you, I guess it's a special occasion.
I guess.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Also, we should point this out. After waking up, these butterflies are thirsty. And you can imagine they've been up there huddled, not doing really much of anything besides cuddling and trying to preserve their heat.
And trying not to fall to their plummet to their deaths.
Trying not to overwhelm the trees. So because there's so many of them, now that they've overwhelmed the trees, they overwhelm the water sources. And if you look at this image here, you can see them just blanketing the riverbed. There's nothing you can see here but some water, and then, oh wait, millions of butterflies.
It's a river of butterflies.
Yes.
It's just insane. They're not just looking for water, Matt, though. They're also
really?
looking for love.
Oh dear.
So procreation is a big part of this migration process, and spring when they wake up. And so the butterflies, they do their business, and the males die, and then the pregnant females head back north in search of food, and then along the way they leave their eggs on the plants that they're feeding on as they go.
Wow. So you get another blanketing that occurs on the trip back.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. So all of this is well and good and very cool, but guess what? I got a bombshell. This migration raises a really interesting question. How do these butterflies know where they're going? And I think, oh, that's simple, Matt. They know because they're butterflies and they have instinct. No, that's not why. This is insanity here, everybody. They know where they're going and how to get there. And they don't have a TomTom. None of them have a TomTom. Not a single one of them has a TomTom.
No actual GPS is involved.
consider this also. These monarchs have a very short lifespan, so several generations die in between migrations. That means the butterflies that make trip A, okay, are not the same butterflies that make trip B. They're not even the sons and daughters of the butterflies that made trip A. They are the great-grandchildren of the ones that migrated during trip A. How do they do this?
So they have no memory of this experience.
No.
It's a mystery. It's crazy.
I am perplexed.
I am also perplexed, but it's neat. And a recent study was done to try to figure out kind of like how these butterflies navigate to Mexico and what role their antenna play specifically in helping them navigate. And I was reading this Discovery News article that was talking about a study that was done which pretty much showed that their antennas kind of work like butterfly GPS.
What does that mean?
Like they painted the butterfly's antenna black.
Okay.
And then other ones they didn't paint, and the ones that were painted black could not find their way because that's part of, apparently they use them to sense light, and also like it's a lot of complicated stuff together, but their antennas are a very important part of their navigation.
What?
I know, isn't that crazy?
Oh man, my brain hurts so badly. But that's the butterflies, ladies and gentlemen, and that was an amazing episode. I must say so myself. Thanks, Rachel.
Thanks.
They're amazing, and guess what? It's time for some listener mail.
Listener mail. This one comes from Lincoln, and he says, "Hi, Matt and Rachel. I love the podcast." Oh, he probably meant I love the podcast and all the great places you take us to, though I've seen some of them already. I just listened to the podcast on Southeast Alaska and wanted to compliment Matt's impression on a glacier calving, while at the same time letting him know that it's difficult to understand what it's like without being in front of one.
I agree.
I went to Argentina a couple of years ago and was face to face with the calving glacier, and the sound isn't just loud, it is intense and goes right through you. It was unlike anything I've ever felt before. Keep up the good work. I look forward to your podcast every week, LDC. Well, thanks for that, LDC, and it's good to know. It's good to know what an actual calving glacier sounds like. Although I think you did a lovely job, Matt.
You know, I'm gonna start doing voiceovers and work like that for Discovery. So look out for my newest stuff on Life. I do sounds of everything from butterflies to calving glaciers to I even do an Oprah Winfrey impression. So
I want to hear that one.
It's good. It's pretty good.
All right. Well, on that very silly note, we will see you next time for more cool stuff.
I'm not funny.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com and let us know what you think. Email travelpodcast@howstuffworks.com. Don't forget to check out our other podcasts, free on iTunes.